Just over an hour's drive from the Icelandic capital of Reykjavík, the greenhouses of Friðheimar farm emit a warm glow that cuts through the dark, cold landscape of a subarctic winter. Inside the greenhouses, rows of bright red, juicy tomatoes await their harvest, all thanks to water drawn from a nearby geothermal well that is keeping 2,000 square feet of plants in constant, life-sustaining warmth. It's the success of Iceland's geothermal greenhouses such as at Friðheimar that has inspired the NunatuKavut Community Council (NCC) of Southern Labrador to now start thinking about geothermal greenhouses for their communities. Part of the Canadian province of Newfoundland and Labrador, here frost can arrive by late September and linger until May. The short growing season has traditionally meant that communities have had no choice but to rely on fresh produce transported into them by truck and ferry. These supply chains are vulnerable to climate shocks such as severe flooding and winter storms that can leave roads impassable for days. The greenhouses of Friðheimar are kept constantly warm thanks to water drawn from a nearby geothermal well, even during bitter Icelandic winters. Credit Friðheimar. Some of our communities have greenhouses, but they are very tiny, says Krista Oxford, a seating director and manager of the Department of Energy for the NCC, the representative governing body for approximately 6,000 Inuit in South and Central Labrador. Those greenhouses that do exist rely on diesel fuel for heating. Conventional greenhouses use fossil fuels such as diesel to regulate temperature. Because of this, they have earned a reputation as one of the most energy-intensive and costly methods of cultivation. Approximately 75 to 85% of the total energy consumed in a greenhouse is used for heating. This is expensive, especially in northern latitudes and extreme climates where it can account for up to 70 to 85% of the total operation costs. Diesel use is still a reality for so many remote communities, says Joe Collier, project manager for the non-profit Net Zero Atlantic, a team of scientists and researchers that is currently helping the NCC determine the feasibility of using geothermal energy in southern Labrador. Even when compared to natural gas use in a greenhouse, geothermal uses about 1/5 of the amount of fossil fuels, resulting in about 80% less in carbon or greenhouse gas emissions, according to Collier. Weighed down by negative news. Our smart, bright, weekly newsletter is the uplift you've been looking for. To create electricity, large-scale geothermal energy projects often require drilling miles underground to tap into water temperatures high enough that the steam generated can be used to power turbines and create electricity. Low-grade geothermal energy, on the other hand, as Collier explains, uses warm water sometimes no more than several hundred feet below ground. When diverted through piping systems or heat pumps, this type of system can be used for large or small-scale greenhouse growing in all climates. It's this use of geothermal energy that has piqued the interest of the NCC. As Collier notes, it has already been used successfully in Labrador and Newfoundland. About 300 miles south of Happy Valley Goose Bay, in Corner Brook, Western Memorial Regional Hospital has Canada's largest ground-source geothermal heat pump system. Located roughly 600 feet below the parking lot, the field supplies 100% of the hospital's geothermal heating. This gives the NCC hope that low-grade geothermal energy is viable further north for the NunatuKavut communities and their dreams of a commercial-grade greenhouse. Around the world, low-grade thermal greenhouses are proving to be a viable alternative to fossil fuels. In New Mexico, Mason Farms has been using geothermal energy trapped just below the subsurface of the earth to heat its Radium Springs greenhouse since 1960, relying on wells that tap into the area's natural hot springs. One at the deep and the other one intended the heated water passes through the greenhouse system and is returned to the ground via a closed-loop piping system. It's the same process as using natural gas or electricity through a boiler system, says Mark Salgado, sales and distribution manager for Mason Farms. From a growing standpoint, there's no difference between using fossil fuels or geothermal energy. Either way, plants thrive. In Rotorua in New Zealand, mud boils and steam hisses through vents in the dirt. For more than 25 years, geothermal energy has been harnessed to keep 4 greenhouses operated by the Rotorua Lakes Council warm. Being able to heat our greenhouses during winter means we can grow some varieties year-round, says the council's communications manager, Ingrid Tyranny. Wait, you're not a member yet? Join the Reasons to Be Cheerful community by supporting our non-profit publication and giving what you can. Join Cancel anytime yet, as Brandy Obvinseva, communications director of the advocacy group Geothermal Rising, points out. Installation costs are often perceived as an impediment to the more widespread use of geothermal greenhouses. In Canada, for example, small commercial greenhouses under 10,000 square feet typically cost 6 to 10 CAD per square foot. The price goes up the larger the structure. Depending on size, drilling required, and location, capital costs for a geothermal greenhouse in northern and remote communities can, according to some estimates, range from 1 million to 5 million CAD.
There are also geographic limitations.
Shallow geothermal energy requires tectonic activity or subterranean heat reservoirs close to the Earth's surface, or services. The British Columbia Company greenhouse in the snow has a solution. It supplies geothermal greenhouse kits, some up to 1 feet in length, for small-scale, commercial and backyard use across North America. With the help of pipes even deeper below the surface and a simple blower system, the Earth itself acts as a geothermal blanket that keeps vegetables and fruit warm and toasty even in winter.
There's one trench that's 8 to 10 feet long, explains co-owner Chelsea Cages.
There are a multitude of pipes inside the trench, and we're just using a simple blower system.